Welcome back to TNT Podcasts.
Hello.
So, how's it been?
Well, it's been great. I must be honest. Like I said, this year has just been pretty fast.
Yeah. And you just came back from a beautiful trip to the homeland.
Yes, that was wonderful. I had a great experience and perhaps a little not so great.
As always, right?
Yeah. And so now I'm back, and of course, wedding season is coming up.
Oh my God, wedding season is coming up. It's just the way life is just this year is just zipping by is amazing to me. But I know I also have a couple of weddings coming up this year. It's funny because my little cousin, my little niece in the UK. So for Valentine's Day, she had posted something on Instagram. You know who you are. And then I was like, ooh, I got so excited, right? Because, we're waiting patiently to select the Ashwebi for that. And so I was like, ooh. She was like, no, auntie. She was like, it's not that at all. Just a friend. She was like, man, she started talking about she was like, man, in the streets, this dating, she said, sometimes, I said, well, we're going to have you come on the podcast one day to come and tell us what life is like. But girl, so it's funny because when you still, I'm just like, it has to be hard in this
dating now
climate, right?
Dating. I'm just glad I'm not part of this.
Girl, I'm
dating pool because
you know why I'm glad I'm not part of it. And this is how you know that I've kind of thought about this a lot, right? I'm not a dancer. You know this, right? I'm not Tony. Tony is a dancer. I'm not a dancer.
I'm not even a dancer as much as I used to. With all the steps, I can't keep up.
No. But in today's day, because when I watch all these weddings, right, I get instant anxiety, right? Thinking about, oh my God, like what if I was getting married today? I would need to do all this because now every song has a particular dance step that goes with it, right?
Entire wedding is curated for this specific stuff.
Because I still remember my wedding day, right? When we're doing the traditional wedding and we were dancing it. By then I was kind of exhausted. The sandal-heeled shoes I was wearing was hurting the living daylight out of my feet. And I still remember trying to come in and even the pastor was like, dance now.
It's like, are you forced?
So can you imagine today, right? Today, the dance steps at these Nigerian weddings, not for the week at all.
When I see, no. When I see some of these weddings and the amount of effort that they put into it for their...
And the one that trips me out the most is the ones where the woman actually gets the guy to do this whole kind of like choreographed. I'm like... I'm always like, Shegun, I don't understand. Like, why are you not like? Why can't I make you do those things? It would be like, you'll be all right.
No, I guess both parties are into the whole. I think it's just a generation,
right? Yeah,
yeah. Into it,
and everything has just gotten bigger. Like, remember when I remember my engagement picture was like those Sears pictures where you had like that blue background.
Oh no, forget it.
Now people are like on horses doing engagement shoots. I'm just
coming into their event on a horse.
Okay,
no, that's something else. No, sorry.
Who's coming into their event
you
on
already
horse?
know how I feel with animals. So
wait, did you see that
relationship?
Happen?
Yeah, I saw that. So, 2 events. One in the U.S. and one.
What?
Where was the other one? I don't remember where, but they arrived and came in on a horse.
Okay, people, you all doing too much now. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. The other day, talking about that, I saw this reel and it was a party. I don't know whose party. It's just one of those things that just comes across your thing on social media. They were giving out live chicken.
I saw it. It came up on my reel. First of all, I'm not touching no chicken. So.
Listen, at a party.
I don't know what kind of party that is.
And then people were holding it. I'm just like, so what? You're just going to hold it the entire time of the party? Like, are you going to eat again? Like, are you going to, if you put it on the floor, then the chicken is like running everywhere. Like, I do not understand.
I don't know.
People were in the comments saying, people were actually in the comments saying, people were thinking, this is really next level. This is nice. I'm like, who gives out live chicken?
The chicken would have been chasing
as
me.
A souvenir
at
an event. That was wild. That was wild.
No, that's crazy. But no, thank you. No, thank you.
I did not understand it. Let me tell you, I did not. I was just like,
No. So, it's interesting now with this whole wedding stuff and dating. Dating is a whole different thing. Like,
dating is a whole different thing. Listen, I better hold on to that man because I ain't trying to go into those streets. Because let me tell you something. Dating is a whole new thing nowadays. And like, I feel like the weddings are so big that you see now on social media, and none of them are even making it to, like, I feel like maybe even the 3-year mark. A lot of weddings that you see how huge the weddings are, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened?
Yeah, it's a whole feeding into the social media and making everything feel like it's.
I think that I think we need to really, go back and making sure that we're really, again, I understand we've been married for a while. You know that you can wake up one day and feel like, do I even know who you are? Like, who the bleep did I marry? Type of thing. There are days where you wake up and you feel like you don't even know your spouse because they will do something so out of the chain, and vice versa. I mean, they probably think the same about us. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, there was still some good getting to know one another. There was still some good building together. I feel like nowadays, I don't know, do people taking that time, or everyone is just, oh, I'm engaged, I want to do all the social media posts to show my beautiful social media engagement pictures.
I don't know. It's just really different right now. And are people getting married for the right reasons?
Are people getting married for the right reasons?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, marriage is not something that you want to go into for the wrong reasons, right?
So, it's just dating now. I don't understand.
What do you mean?
Like, just the whole dating process. So you hear young people talk about, the girls will come and say, hey, it's so tough. The guys out here are so different. And then the guys come and tell you the same thing. I'm just talking like the younger generation.
Yeah.
The girls these days, who's going to get me this wig? Who's going to do?
Huh?
Yeah, I've heard things I've heard stories. I'm not joking.
The girls are asking for a guy.
Material stuff.
You're probably right? Because wasn't it a few months ago that they were talking about the lady who went off because the guy took her to Red Lobster on a first date? And
I don't know that. So that was a problem?
That was something that it went viral on social media. I think it was last year. She wanted him off to a restaurant? Yeah, she got mad that she told him that did she look like a Red Lobster type of babe? Right. Like, why would he take her to Red Lobster on her first date? But to me, I think that just boggles my mind that those are the things that you're even saying, right? Even when we were dating, I feel like, yeah, a guy picks you up, he takes you to a restaurant. I don't know that we ever really focused on the fact that he took us to a particular restaurant, right? I think you just went out, right? You never thought about, why did he bring me to, what was it then? Ruby Tuesdays, what was the restaurant? Bennigan's. Like, why did he take me to those places? We just went out, and it wasn't about the place. It was more about the going out, right? It was more about the conversation that you were going to have. I feel like even today, I remember the other day, Shago and I were joking about this, like, can you imagine if you're like dating in today's age right now? You can't even say, let me buy a girl a bag now. If the bag is not like costing $5,000, you've not even bought a gift. And
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear these stories. Yeah. I hear stories about,
so imagine
dating in Nigeria is a different thing.
I feel like the Nigerian babes are actually on a way another level than us here. Because I feel like even the Nigerian babes be looking at us in the US going, why are you carrying a Coach bag? Like, I feel like the Nigerian babes in Nigeria, their eyes are like way up there.
Yeah, it's a different level.
And I'm just like, where are you all getting this money from? Because they be looking, Nigerian babes in Nigeria are so focused on brand names.
Yeah,
they will look at labels.
I think that's always been a Nigerian thing.
It's always been particular on maybe clothes. Maybe people want Tommy Hilfiger T-shirt. Maybe they want.
They don't even.
No, I'm saying then.
Back then.
Okay. But I'm saying now, those babes are checking you from head to toe. If your bag is not a Louis, if you're not carrying, if you're not wearing Louis Vuitton, it's like what?
Yeah. I know that they're very big on brand names. Very materialistic.
Brand names, yeah,
big time. But it's a lot of pressure on dating now. It's a whole lot of pressure on dating. I mean,
because think about it, if you're the guy, right? If you're a guy and, I mean, so for Christmas, you have to buy 3 to 5 because easy, like even the mini bag of this designer is easy is like $3,000, right? If the mini bags. So you want to buy your girl a bag now. You're paying, well, you're going to pay that kind of money for Christmas. Then it's their birthday. Then you're having Valentine's Day. I think if there's too much focus on the material side of the relationship. And I feel like a lot of girls will probably not want to date somebody who doesn't buy them those type of, because they'll feel like, oh, my friend is getting this. Why are you not doing the same thing? And it is a lot of pressure for a guy. Like, where do you want him to get that kind of money from all the time? Like, if you guys are in your 20s or your early 20s, where do you want this guy to be getting you that kind of,
Except you come from money.
Yeah. But that's not the reality for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I also think that that's another thing. I think people tend to see people with all these things and expect that their lives are great or whatever.
It falls back to what social media portrays. And
correct.
People come in there and come with me as I blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And everything is like all this and this.
You don't know which ones were returned after that post. You know what I'm saying? No, it's true because people be returning stuff. That's like crazy. Even the Real Housewives, people be calling them out. Oh no, yeah. She still doesn't watch Real Housewives, guys. Very shameful. But yeah, we've seen a lot of Real Housewives episodes where people are like calling each other out, like, oh no, I don't return my stuff, because there was one that they did recently. It was like the reunion, and both of them had come in with the same dress, and one of them had to decided not to wear her dress and wear a backup dress. And so Andy Cohen talked about it when they came out, and he said, oh, I heard that you both had the same dresses today. And the other one said, yeah, but I don't return mine. I was like, damn. So that's the thing. It's like what you do just to try to belong. You go, you get the dress, and then you return it. And so that happens.
I don't know. What happened to just being your authentic self and just
and that's the thing. And for me, right, I remember in the days where I've just, even when people were always into all these designer bags and I didn't have money to buy a designer bag, I'd rather just buy a regular bag. Like I hate to go and buy a fake bag.
Great leather.
Like I can't do the fake Chanel or the fake Louis Vuitton bag. Like, no, I just rather have a regular. I'll buy Tory Burch if I can't buy Louis. Like, it's okay. Or I'll just buy a regular bag. But this to then have to do so much as to go buy a fake bag.
Things are, and it's like younger and younger and younger.
Younger and younger.
Younger, so.
That's so true, because a lot of these kids now from 18, 17, 18, all of them are talking about, I mean, not even my own Didi telling me the other day, I'm going to need a Cartier love bracelet. I'm like, oh, if you don't take yourself, it's not a Cartier love bracelet. Like, what?
Lord.
Are you?
I think it's just expedited and so fast.
I'm like, huh?
So I don't know, but yeah, back to dating.
Yeah.
Dating now across the globe, I mean, from the one that I know here in the U.S. and then Nigeria, I think it's very tough. I'm like, how do people find true love?
How do people find? I mean, true love does exist. I've seen. I mean, again, my little cousin, she's getting married this year, and I do believe that that's true love. I also think that the foundation matters. Like where they meet, like they met. They've kind of had time to sew together, to grow together.
That's important.
I think sometimes I get weary when all of a sudden, now I know that a lot of people have been successful when they've met on social media. I've always been very scared of social media.
A little paranoid
not social media, I mean
dating apps.
It
works for some. It
does. And I have seen people, and I have people in my life who have been very successful and have beautiful marriages from a dating app. And I also think that also if you're busy really, and you're not someone who goes out a lot, where do you then meet somebody? How do you meet someone? So sometimes you do have to go the route of a dating app. But
just a little, my girlfriend, paranoid person.
One of my girlfriend that she's in the dating pool right now. She's always telling me some crazy things be happening in the dating app. But she also meets good people. But then there are also some.
I'm sure there'll be some deceptive people there who have come to lie. And probably have
yeah. But yeah,
how do you check? How do you check that? Like, I
think back to your question of how do people meet? How do you find true love? I think it still goes back to the same way anybody finds, like even in the past, right? Even in the past, things are not as elevated as they are today, right? With just social media effect, right? Everybody's seeing everything.
Yeah.
But I also think that could also be an advantage, right? In the past, you could really have a guy like fooling multiple women and they won't be on social media. You don't have social media right now.
Now it's like he slid in my DMs.
Correct.
Oh, same person?
No, but now if you're getting serious with someone and you're finding out that he doesn't want to be, photographed with you, or you need to or doesn't, I don't do social media, I don't want to be on your social media. Those are some of the things that maybe to start being a little bit more mindful of, because why don't you want to be on social media? Like, is it, and I understand you don't want to be on social media all the time, but to just say, okay, if we take an engagement shoot picture, you don't want me to put it on social media. Why wouldn't you want us to celebrate with our friends? Right. Yep. So I think some of those things would be red flag. And I think so the social media is good and bad. Is good because a lot of people are getting exposed more because of social media, because a friend of a friend may see someone and be like, wait, I know that guy. Yeah. But then it's also bad because a lot of the dating is like show and tell. Like people I just want to show my cute, relationship. I just want to show, but are you addressing red flags that are coming up from this relationship, right? Are you more interested in the wedding that you're about to have? Have you really thought about your marriage, of your forever, your life after? Because when all is said and done, and you're done with all the party, and you're done with all the 3, 5, 7 changes that you're going to do for your wedding or your engagement shoot or your whatever, and you guys are behind closed doors by yourself, reality sets in. Yeah. And then what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know how people are actually finding people.
But I don't think the finding people is actually the problem.
No, I think it is. I hear stories about people saying there's just not good people out there.
But that's what I'm saying.
The girls are this and that.
So, but that's great. That means that those people are doing a lot of vetting, right? That's what I'm saying, is that I think if you just wanted to find people, you would find people. But I think if you want to find good people, you would take your time to do more to make sure, right, that you're not just swiping. What they swipe left or right, I don't know where they be sliding, but where that you're not just you're not just sliding right to everybody, right? So if you want to find good people, you have to take your time, get to know the person, get to know the family. I also think sometimes, not even sometimes, I think that also it's not only about that person, right? If you're meeting somebody and then they don't want you to meet anybody in their family, why? That's another red flag. Why can't you meet anybody?
I mean, after a certain, once you get to a certain level.
Yeah. You have to meet people. You have to meet their family. You have to meet their friends. Some people, like, they call them Friday night girls. It's only, you go out with them on Friday nights. That already tells you there's something going on. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. I don't know how people are, but one thing that I see a lot of today is just that they have these big extravagant weddings, and then you're not even making it to 3 years. Yeah. And that's sad.
It is. It is. Just picking a partner, and I don't know, I'm old school. Like, do people still find each other in church, or like... What's going on with that?
That would be the best place. Well, I don't know though, because let me not say that would be the best place, because there's some demons that also roam around the church environment. Demons. There's some demons be rolling around the church environment, because some of this, I mean, but the truth is, in the past, in the 90s, I know a lot of guys used to come to church because they were looking for girls. I don't even know where do people look for girls these days now. I mean.
Or a church guy.
But even the girls themselves have changed though.
In what way?
I feel like the girls are more out there these days, I believe, than it used to be. I feel like before there used to be like a coyness about women and just allowing the men to lead a little bit. And I think nowadays women are earning good money. Women are doing their thing. They're owning their own. I love that. Yeah. But I think also there's I don't know, should I use cockiness that comes with it now? Or maybe it's not cockiness. Maybe it's just women just being sure of themselves. confidence that comes with it. But I also think that also plays into not really, sometimes when you're in a relationship and the smallest thing is like, oh, I'm out of here. Right? Because I don't need you for anything.
Back
right?
in the days where
you want to, say, hey, let's try to figure it out. Everything. I mean, no, and again, I'm not saying like an abusive situation. I'm just saying just a little misunderstanding is like, I'm out of here. Because today, women feel like, a lot of women, they have the good jobs, they have, their education, they have everything going for them. They can tell the man, I don't need you. And so rather than fight or try to, say, let me work on my relationship, the smallest discomfort is like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess.
Do you see that?
I could see that. I could see that. But I'm a big fan of
women empowerment. I know.
I'm so big on that.
I am as well. I'm not saying that women shouldn't be all of those things.
I feel like in some cases there might be that tiny little thing there that makes them feel like I'm not taking this.
No, I feel like, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I also feel like in the generation of our mothers, unfortunately, they had to stay in bad situations because they were thinking about their kids. They were thinking about, if I leave, who's going to pay the school fees, who's going to do this, because they were housewives, right? Yeah. So for them, they stayed in a situation because they didn't correct. So now we have so if you're looking back, you might say, oh, marriages lasted longer in those days. It may have lasted longer, did not mean they were happy, right?
Absolutely.
Because it lasted forever, but they may not have been happy ever in that relationship. They just literally stayed because of their children.
I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. But today's day, because women are so much more advanced, more independent, more educated, they go out there, they get it, they're doing it. So they are less willing to take the bull crap from the guy. Like, if you're going to act a certain kind of way, women are saying, I'm out. Yeah. So I feel like they're good. There are pros and cons to these things, right? Yeah. I feel like, yes, should you just take somebody treating you any kind of way just to be together? No. But could we maybe give it a little bit more before you just throw the towel in?
It could be easy to work on yourself.
Yeah. Well,
as well.
That's the thing. Isn't that what it is? When you're in a relationship, you're always trying to fix the other person.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes until we stop to fix ourselves, that relationship is not getting better.
Self-awareness comes in.
Correct. And I even say that for myself, even within my own relationship, because there was a time I would have told you, list all of Shagun's problems for him, like this.
And you were the same.
I was a saint. I was like perfect. I mean, come on, I was perfect. Yeah.
God created a perfect being.
But that's part of communication. When you start to realize that, stop trying to fix somebody else and fix yourself. Fix yourself. What if that person never changes a behavior? Are you able to live with that? So when you start to think about yourself in a way that, why am I always trying to change this person? What if they don't change? That's the question.
Is it even, I have always thought that there's no way you can really change somebody.
You cannot, you cannot change anybody. Those of us that are Christians will say, like, it's only God that can change a man's heart, right? You can't change anybody's heart. Yeah. You can't turn anybody. You can express your desires, but you can't really change anyone's heart.
Which brings it back to part of the whole dating thing. Certain things you already begin to notice, and these are like my non-negotiable. I'm not going to go into it with this. This is something I can't deal with. You've already seen those things.
Yeah.
It's a different thing when you don't see
it. Yeah.
So I think like those things are important for you to pinpoint and say, hey,
it is
I can't work
important,
with this.
Right? Because honestly,
you thinking you're going to come in and change somebody?
Because when you are dating, it's always easier to be able to say, I'm not, and being firm in what you believe in, right? Once you get into the marriage, man, good luck with that. Yes. Like, if the person is set in their ways, you're not going to change their mind. I mean, you might, but I'm just saying, But yeah, no, to your point, yeah, but we keep seeing all the marriages. We keep seeing all the marriages online, and it looks like people are still getting married.
Weddings is happening.
Weddings are happening, yeah, but the longevity,
But it's funny. It used to be more so, hey, in the Western world, marriages are not lasting. The celebrity world is not lasting.
Yeah.
It's happening in Nigeria.
That is not lasting.
It's not lasting. Yeah. Things are like,
which is
this
so,
generation is like,
but
no.
you know the funny thing, I always feel like Nigeria is like sometimes sometimes when I go to Nigeria, like it feels even more advanced than like, I mean, we talked about the bags and everything. I feel like they are on another level of, you know, I feel like years ago there was a time when all the parents were telling their sons not to marry Nigerian American girls. And now it's almost like the mothers in Nigeria telling their sons,
don't go get no girl from
don't marry Nigerian girls.
Oh gosh, what's left?
You know, because I mean, their eyes are at a high. Even some, I'm just like, I can't even match yours level, your line, right? You know, because we work 9 to 5. We can't get up there. We're not getting millions, so we don't know where all of those are coming from. But I mean, my desire is for all the Gen Zs. I mean, even as much as I desire for my niece to find someone and get married, I would want her to still take her time. Mm-hmm. There's this thing everybody was always talking about, the ticking time. I don't want women to look at themselves in terms of the ticking time. Mm-hmm. Our culture makes us want to rush and get married because we all feel like, oh, there's a time. But I really don't think that we need to like rush ourselves into this time constraint, right?
Yeah. You're gonna hurry up to.
Because listen,
devastated.
You could get married at 25 and be miserable for the next 10 years because you're in it with the wrong person, or you could get married at 35 and be blissfully happy because you're in there with the right person.
Yes.
So
I agree with that.
You know, I think taking your time to finding out your true person, like you said, your non-negotiables, like, right? You don't want to, if it's your non-negotiable, just stick with it.
Yeah.
Just stick to it. Don't let anybody tell you that you're being unreasonable.
I can change. I can change that.
Right.
You're not changing.
You're not changing anything.
If there's anything I can tell anyone out there, you can't change anyone.
No.
Don't think you have that power to change somebody.
And you're especially not going to get the power in the marriage. You need to get it before you get into the marriage.
That's a good point.
You know, but at the end of the day, I guess I would say to the Gen Zs out there is to just, take your time. Focus on you. Focus on being
a fantastic point.
Better for yourself. Just because you don't have a man, still go on with that education, still go on with that career, still go on with that business, buy a house if you want to buy a house, do all the things that you want to do for yourself. And in due time, that person who's supposed to add to you, to add value to you, will come along.
Should be value added.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, you should make something of yourself.
Yes.
It's a very important thing.
Don't wait. Don't be stagnant because you're waiting for this mystery man to come along. Just live life.
It goes both ways now.
Yeah, live life.
Yeah.
Live life, So
live life, build you.
Yeah.
Work on you. Because trust me, we can always work on ourselves.
Yes.
We're not perfect at any time. Yeah. Everyone's learning every time. Everyone's getting to be their best.
Right.
I think one of the important thing is to learn to always try to be better you.
Yeah. And
like I said, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Would only get you there.
Yeah.
So
it can be done. And also, please don't spend billions of dollars on your wedding. I mean,
somebody be like, is it your money?
I'm telling you, you just save that money, buy a house, do something. Please don't spend it on the jet that is coming from the ceiling into the wedding hall. Like, come on, like
or getting a horse.
Horse. Like, come on,
that's going to go crazy.
What are we doing?
In the midst
I'm not saying don't have a nice wedding. Have a nice wedding, but don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Think about your life afterwards. Do it, but you don't need 10 outfit changes. Come on, like, why you got to change 10 times? But anyway, that is our service. Our public service
announcement
for you. But anyway, until next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Hopefully those in the dating pool, we wish you the very best.
Wait, actually want comments. Leave us some comments on some of your crazy either wedding or dates or dating experiences, Gen Zs, what it's out like there, or anybody. It doesn't even have to be Gen Zs. But yeah, but we would love to read some comments, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.